Well, welcome back to another Nurse's Voice. Today we are joined by Cindy Jeter. She's one of our travelers. And Cindy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, let's get into it. You have quite an interesting story with why you started traveling. So can you tell us a little bit about how long you were nursing before you started traveling, and then why you got into traveling?
Sure. Let's see. I've been nursing for 32 years before I started traveling. I started to work in June of 1990, right out of college at a small hospital. Retired from that hospital in 2019. When I retired, I was the director of quality, director of education. So I had done a variety of jobs at this small facility, and actually kept working PRN at that same facility because, the hospital was like my second home. And my co-workers there are still my extended family. So the problem with working there was that the census couldn't always support the part-timers and the PRNers. So I started traveling because I needed a reliable yet flexible way to generate some income for my business venture.
Okay, well, now that you brought up the business venture, I know you've got a soap company. So can you tell me a little bit about why you started the soap company and how you came up with the idea for it?
Sure. I've been soaping just about as long as I've been nursing. I've always enjoyed crafting, making stuff from scratch, whatever that is. And I remember back in the day, I was looking for a side hustle, if you will, some way to raise money for a project that I was working on. I was involved with the local volunteer master gardeners, and I wanted to landscape a local nursing home. It was just kind of blah, and I wanted to do something for the residents. So I knew this was going to take a lot of money, and I didn't really have the extra cash. Even though I was working full-time nursing, I didn't have the extra money at the time. And also during that time, I had a lot of skin issues. I was having a problem with eczema that got really severe in the wintertime. And so one night I went to sleep and I had a dream that I was making soap. And when I woke up, I knew what I wanted to do. I was going to make soap. But you've got to remember, this was back in the day in the 90s when the internet was still young. There was no YouTube. I couldn't just Google how to make soap. Google wasn't around. So I had to do it the old-fashioned way. I hit the books. I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of money experimenting with recipes until I got them right. And once I found things that worked for me and my immediate family, I had them test this and see what I need to do to it. I had them fill out a little form, about did it do this, did it do that, and until we got it right. And once I got it right, then I was able to start selling these creations to family, friends, my coworkers. So ultimately, they really funded my projects by buying the items. And so that's how we came up with the idea that's how I came up with the idea for, it was just really divine inspiration, if you will. But, and I always told myself, when I retire, I'm going to open up a soap store. It's been a lifelong goal.
Wow. So does the soap also help with your eczema?
It has. I do not have any flare-ups anymore. I do not have, I would go, I actually developed a balm that is just wonderful, and I use it when it's severe, and I don't really have any problems with it anymore. Nothing that I can complain about. Yeah.
That's incredible. So what are some of the challenges that you faced as being a business owner and buying a building and all of that jazz?
Well, there's always growing pains. Anytime you transition something from a hobby to a real business, there's going to be growing pains. And one thing right out of the gate was when we did that, I thought I didn't need an accountant. Oh, I can do this. I know math well enough. I can figure this out. No, you need an accountant. That's my advice to anybody starting a new business is go ahead, spend the money, and get the accountant. They're worth their weight. And another major issue that we had was just really logistics. Was, again, we transitioned from the kitchen to my she shed, if you will, a little shed that we had outfitted for the manufacture of soap. And then we rented a little store downtown here in the town where we live. And so logistically, getting it from one place to the other, getting the products from one place to the other became so cumbersome. We did that for several years, from 2019 till just this last year. We would haul stuff from the she shed to the retail store, and we're getting too old for that. And so the hub says to me one day, he says, we got to find a place where we can do it all under one roof. So we started searching, and we bought a 115-year-old building downtown where we live. And as you can imagine, the building needed a lot of work. And so that's another reason I started traveling, because I knew not only would the pay be great, it would be flexible where I could do both. So those have been some of the main challenges. And another big hurdle that we had to jump over was just getting the building fit to where it needed to be. To be able to, because you're talking a 115-year-old building, it just had to be gutted. And we were just so blessed that a man come to us that could do all that. He did most of the work, and he did a terrific job. And here we are. We're coming up on our year anniversary in the new building. But I'd say those are some of the major challenges that we face.
Sure. So then, how has traveling impacted this? I know that you touched on it a little bit, but do you bring like little soap samples to your coworkers on your unit and do like a little marketing, or has it impacted anything in that way?
Traveling has both negatively and positively impacted the soap making business.
Okay.
On the negative side, we've actually had to scale back our hours of operation, because once you develop recipes, you kind of guard and you own those recipes. I know that maybe sounds ridiculous, because you can go on YouTube and get whatever, but I know what works because I've been doing it for this many years, So we've had to scale back because we can't really support full-time staff right now. I have broken down and hired part-time. So we've had to scale back on the hours, and keeping up with the stock has been another challenge with working 3 night shifts a week, just being able to get the products made. But we have such a fantastic customer base. They understand. They come in, they're like, oh, do you have any XYZ? And I'm like, no, I hadn't had time to make it. And they're like, well, just as soon as you get it made, let me know. I'll be back to get it. So that's on the negative side. Positively, though, traveling, like I said, it's been flexible, and it's been a great source of income for us to be able to help pay for some of this renovation on this 115-year-old building. So good and bad, I guess, with anything.
And something we also didn't touch on is, so you're a nurse, you're a traveler, you own a business, and you're a pastor's wife.
Yes.
So like every single day of the week is booked for you. How do you balance it all?
Yes. It really is. I'm literally working 7 days a week. I really am. It's crazy. As much as we'd like to think we can do it all, we're strong, we're independent women, we're nurses, whatever. Well, you can't do it all. You've got to balance. You've got to balance. You've got to find that balance. But let me tell you, first of all, without my faith in God, I couldn't do anything. That keeps me grounded. That's my go-to place. And then I've got to tell you, I have the most supportive husband. He has picked up my slack so much since I've been traveling. I mean, everything from doing the laundry, feed the cats, do this, do that. I mean, he is right there front and center. I say, hey, I need you to come to the store and work for a while. I need you to wrap this soap. I need you to do this. He's right there. And he's
out there manning the store right now by himself.
Yeah, he's up front. He just got off. He has multiple jobs as well. So he just got off of one of his jobs, and he's retired too. We're both retired. Isn't that ironic? He has really picked up my slack. And I have, like I told you before, we have a great customer base. Our congregation is really supportive of what I'm trying to accomplish here. And so it really takes a village. That's true. It does. There's no way I could balance all this as much as I want to. And One thing I've had challenging wise with trying to balance is learning what to let go, prioritizing to the point where I'm like, okay, this isn't important right now, push it to the side. And learning to delegate a little bit more, learning to ask for help. That's been the biggest thing. And like I said, I told you I hired part-time. I hired a niece, and I'm actually starting to share with her how to make the products. So she's getting the inside track there. And that's been really difficult for me, but I am getting there, and it's day by day. And you know what? Traveling has made me a better nurse. It has. Working for so many years in a small hospital has been a fantastic, rewarding, challenging, tumultuous time. But traveling, I've gone to a large facility, and I have seen things and been doing things that I had never done in my career. I mean, I feel like I could take on a whole lot more now that I've traveled. It's been a great experience. It really has.
Coming out of retirement.
No, apparently I'm not retired. And my contract is coming to a close in just a couple of weeks. And because I've got to get back to the store through the holiday season. See, Christmas is like the big time of the year for places like this. And so I'm going to work through that, but who knows? Probably next spring I'll be back. All my people over there on the unit, they're like, "You're coming back, right?" I made so many new friends, and just it's been wonderful. It really has.
I love that. Last question: what is the name of your business, and where is it, and where can people find you?
Yes, well, I didn't want to be pushy or anything. I'm not one of those, here, try this, push, but it's Hatchie, Hatchie River, because we are right in the hub of the Hatchie River Soap Works. And we're in Bolivar, Tennessee, which is, about an hour and 15 minutes from Memphis, going, I guess you go east, east on 60. You get on 64 and you come into Bolivar. We're right on Main Street. You can't miss us. Blue building. We just got a sign. I'm so excited. Travel nursing paid for my sign.
I love it.
I'm so excited about getting that. But it's really rewarding. We use the business as a ministry outlet as well. You come in here, you may be coming in to buy laundry soap, but you could get a word of encouragement, you get a prayer. Everybody that walks in that door is a VIP as far as I'm concerned. It's really been a wonderful ministry outreach and retirement gig, if you will. And I'm going to keep traveling if it helps to keep that going and do what needs to be done. I'm really enjoying it right now.
Oh, well, I love that. And I have enjoyed this conversation so much, Cindy. And thank you everyone for joining us, and come back for next month's Nurse's Voice.
Thank you.